The Panasonic S5 IIx is finally here. Today we're going to talk about its specs, how it compares with the competition, and why we believe it is the next video king. The Panasonic S5 Mark II was announced back in January and has been received pretty well among creators. Now, while it did not bring any huge innovation in terms of image quality, it did bring some much needed changes in terms of autofocus, going from contrast to phase hybrid detection. Additionally, the 6.2K open gate up to 30 frames per second, which is ideal for creators who are creating both horizontal and vertical format videos. The 4K and Cinema 4K up to 60 frames per second overall made it a great option if you want to create videos. But what was missing from this camera was kind of its more pro features. The ability to shoot in ProRes, both internally and externally, the absence of the all-intra support for higher bitrate, and the ability to support RAW output. Well, get ready, because for $200 more, the Panasonic S5 IIx pretty much brings everything that you need in a single body. It now supports all-intra for 4K, Cinema 4K, 3.3K at up to 600 megabit per second internally. And you can also choose a higher bit rate up to 800 megabit per second via USB-C to an SSD. Now, this feature is actually what I am the most excited about, because it allows you to fully rig your S5 IIx if you need to, and go from a really portable system, a really portable solution, to a fully rigged, fully production ready one that can directly support SSD output, which facilitates your workflow but also reduces your cost, because now you don't have to invest in some super expensive CF Express or SD card. You can just output to an SSD, and you can connect that SSD directly to computer ready for edit. Now, you also have the support of ProRes up to 5.8K, and you can also output RAW 12-bit colors through HDMI, which is not the case with the S5 Mark II. If you're serious about video production and you want to be able to rig it to make sure that it can scale with your need, I think that the S5 IIx is a no-brainer compared to the S5 II for only $200 more. The S5 II is more reserved for people who don't need the ProRes and RAW capability, and the S5 IIx is more for the content creators that need the RAW output or the ProRes in their workflow. Now, let's talk a little bit about the competition right now of the S5 IIx. At this price point, you have the Canon RX Mark II, you have the Sony a7 IV, the Fujifilm X-H2S, and finally you have the lately announced ZV-E1 from Sony. When it comes to stabilization, Panasonic is well known for its stabilization technology, and when we compare footage from the different cameras that I mentioned before, Panasonic seems like a clear winner. Color-wise, and I would say that that's a highly subjective subject, right? I personally prefer working with both V-Log and F-Log. Working with V-Log and F-Log, I feel like it's much easier to bring colors that are actually representative of the reality. When it comes to autofocus, Sony and Canon at the moment are ahead of the game, but it is not such a big difference compared to before the upgrade and the change to hybrid phase detect. Now, OpenGate is only available on the S5 IIx and the Fujifilm X-H2S. Now, if you know me, you know that I love Fujifilm, and actually this video is shot on an X-H2S. However, the big advantage of the S5 IIx compared to the X-H2S from Fuji is the dual native ISO of the sensor. This allows you to actually output true RAW and to be able to change your ISO afterward if you are using, for example, an Blackmagic RAW and working in DaVinci Resolve. And that's something that is not available in Fuji at the moment. So this is a point that is also in favor of the Panasonic. And also the fact that it can directly output to SSD, I think is a huge advantage for people who just want to facilitate their workflow, right? And I haven't even talked about all the monitoring tools that are extremely useful that only come in the lumix. So you see where I am going there. At this price point, I feel like the S5 IIx is just the better value overall that gives you all the tools that you need to create content, and is either at the top or quite close to the top on every single category at the moment. And for all those reasons, I truly believe that the S5 IIx is just going to be the next video king. What do you think about the S5 IIx? Let us know down in the comments. Thank you for watching PRONEWS, and if you've missed it, check out this video right here where I talk about the new Nikon Z8. See you there!